You're watching ABC7 News at 7.
And from the brain map, we can look for areas of dysregulation. We can see that, and then we can develop neurofeedback protocols to help guide your brain back into a more healthier, balanced state.
Brain mapping, it can detect issues with your brain, and the technique is now being used on autistic children. How does it work? Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. We'll have more on brain mapping and its benefits in a moment, but first, our top stories at 7. The human remains that were found yesterday in the Sarasota Canal do not belong to missing Sarasota teenager Jabez Spann. The medical examiner used Spann's dental records to eliminate that possibility. However, investigators are still not sure who the remains belong to or the race or sex or age of the individual. Police say a human skull and femur bone were found in the canal at 19th Street and Gillespie Avenue yesterday afternoon. Today, detectives and the dive team were back on the scene collecting evidence.
It's my understanding that there is a homeless camp nearby as well, but again, at this point in the investigation, we're still too early on to be able to tell who these remains belong to.
It could take several weeks for the medical examiner to identify the remains. New video in the search for a woman police say killed her husband and a Bradenton woman. 56-year-old Lois Rice is suspected of killing a 59-year-old Fort Myers woman. This video just released, Rice walking into an Ocala Hilton shortly after allegedly killing Pamela Hutchinson. Police believe this was just before Rice fled to Texas in Hutchinson's Acura, where she was last seen. Today we spoke to family and friends of Hutchinson who say that she had recently moved here to Bradenton after a divorce. Her stepdaughter tells us she was loving and caring.
It's just bizarre. I mean, it's devastating. She always cared about everyone else over and above herself. Only recently divorced, but still a part of my family. Always will be.
The U.S. Marshal Service is offering a reward of up to $5,000 for information leading to the arrest of Rice. Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers is also offering a reward of up to $1,000. In the aftermath of the Parkland shooting, all public schools are now required to have school resource officers. The question for Sarasota schools continues to be how to pay for it. To help, the district is looking into reducing the number of custodians and bus drivers. It also is considering a plan to employ an internal police force to patrol the schools, saving the district millions of dollars.
Our next step will be to sit down and talk about what are the key things that we need to accomplish to make sure that at least at the elementary level, we have our own in-house law enforcement folks on board and ready to go to work by the middle of August of 2018.
If the district opted to use an internal police force, the plan would be implemented at middle school and high schools in 2 years. 5 FSU students charged in the hazing death are agreeing to plea deals. They will serve jail time for 2 counts of misdemeanor hazing, but that trial and a felony record will not take place. Last November, 20-year-old Andrew Coffey was found unresponsive after a party hosted by the Pi Kappa Phi fraternity at FSU. All 5 will spend 60 days in jail, except for one who will spend 30 days because of his cooperation in the case. The men will be on probation for the next 2 years. 4 other students charged in Coffey's death are taking their chances and will go to trial in June. The Florida Constitution Revision Commission is placing 8 proposed constitutional amendments on the November 6th ballot. They will join 5 others placed on the ballot by the legislature or citizens' initiatives. Most of the CRC's final proposals had several ideas grouped together into single amendments. One such plan would ban offshore drilling as well as outlaw electronic vaping in public places. Another bundles term limits for school board members with civic literacy and charter school oversight.
Are these different proposals, are they related? They may be in the same general category of government, but are they really related one to the other? And I submit to you that they are not.
This industry has been on its way out for a long time, for many, many years. It's contracted every year, getting smaller and smaller. They're making less money and less money. So yes, this would be a big hit to the industry. But again, it's of yesteryear.
All proposed amendments must be approved by more than 60% of Florida voters to take effect. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is charging a 55-year-old Northport woman with animal cruelty. Deputies impounded 55 cats, 23 mice, 3 ferrets, and 2 dogs from the home of Shirley Duncan. Her cat was found emaciated in distress and had fur matted with urine and feces. The cat was taken to an animal hospital but had to be euthanized. Last night we did our show previewing what you can expect from the environmental symposium taking place in Sarasota. The Climate in Crisis meeting is going on right now until 8:30 p.m. at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium. Experts say climate change has to be addressed now in the city of Sarasota in an effort to slow harmful effects. Sarasota City Manager Tom Barwin is speaking at tonight's Suncoast Climate Change Symposium. The City Commission recently adopted a climate change adaptation plan. Now let's head over to ABC7's Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with the first alert forecast. Bob.
Thanks, Alan. Yeah, I'll tell you, our climate was a little bit below average this morning from climatologically speaking, and we're supposed to be right around 62. We were at 52 degrees and 73 right now. It's comfortable. It's pleasant out there. It's just really nice because of this number right there, 48% on the humidity. Dew point still low, too, and that means we'll start off cool again tomorrow, but we'll start to warm up a little bit in the afternoon, a little bit more than today. 58, the expected low in Rotunda, Northport, away from the water, a little cooler there, 52 degrees, 55 at Lakewood Ranch, 58 in Bradenton, and a bit warmer in Anna Maria with clear skies expected and generally light winds overnight. We'll see anywhere from 5 to 10 miles an hour near the coast. Now, the waves have really come down. In fact, you start to see these numbers as we loop it through. It's fairly calm there in the northern Gulf of Mexico. That's because that high pressure ridge is right there, and the winds have subsided too from just 48 hours ago when these waves were up to about 8 feet. So things have changed drastically on that front. Evening planner looks really nice. 63 by 11 o'clock tonight, fair skies. And as far as our current temperatures go, we've got to look at them. 70 in Pensacola, 74 now in Miami. This is nice all across the state for that matter. I mentioned those winds. They'll be lessening throughout the night and turning more to the east. And that means we'll see a little bit of a gradual warm up. And it looks like on Thursday we'll be back low to mid 80s inland, but still fairly nice weather. It's been beautiful.
Well, let me tell you, my son just completed playing a baseball game in the New York City area where they were just freezing.
Yeah, that's kind of a cold day when you have that rain, freezing rain, and the temperature right around 32 degrees. It just goes right through your bones, it seems like. So, and it's not ending. I'm going to show you another snowstorm that's coming across the Plain States in just a few minutes.
Happy times. Thanks a lot, Bob. And still to come, how can what's known as brain mapping help those with autism? Stay with us.
Supan, part of the U.S. Paralympic rugby team. In my game, movement is everything. I get frustrated when my move is blocked, especially when that guy has no right to be there, even just for a minute. I love a challenge, but I don't like to play this game every day.
A message from the United Spinal Association.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TrueStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
It's a state-of-the-art technique that can help both CEOs and children with autism. Now it is here in Sarasota, and as ABC7's Taylor Tarragano tells us, it is changing lives. Taylor?
Good evening, Alan. This technique takes a deep dive into your brain waves using the irregular patterns to guide your brain back into a more healthy and balanced state. The Brainwave Center achieves this using neurofeedback, which, believe it or not, is something even you watching at home have done.
This is my story, and it's overwhelming.
It's the story of not just 1 or 2 autistic kids, but 4. It starts with Cody, the oldest, now 8 years old, diagnosed at 1 with autism, a speech and language delay, and sensory issues.
Cody couldn't speak, so he banged his head into walls and tile floors. His frustration level was through the roof, and I was at a loss as to how to help him.
Kathy Brady found Easter Seals, an organization that offers numerous services to over 1 million children and adults with disabilities nationwide. One of their development specialists named Tracy started working with Cody as an infant. Then Kathy adopted twins.
When the twins came home from the hospital, Tracy got to see their milestone, or lack of milestones, one by one. So Tracy was actually able to say, Kathy's kids aren't hitting their marks, and so we knew by their first birthday that they would go into therapy.
The twins, KK and Isaac, are now 6 years old, with many of the same issues as Cody, but the one with the most challenges is the youngest, 5-year-old Trevor.
You got one sad face? Oh. Trevor struggles on a day-to-day basis. Some days we have, most days we have more bad days than we have good days. And that's really hard.
It's a common struggle for any parent of a child with disabilities, one Easter Seal sees firsthand daily. But now they're trying a new strategy, a pilot program, a new partnership with the Brainwave Center.
We have a chance to have children have additional training that helps them focus so they can learn and have their brains calm down or step up.
The program uses neurofeedback, a way of learning almost everyone is born with.
You learned your ABCs. They showed you your ABCs, and you sang the songs, and you recited them, and then you knew your ABCs. Same thing with riding a bike. Got on the bike and you fell down. Before you even hit the ground, you were building new neural pathways in order to learn how to ride that bike, and then you were riding the bike.
Brain training, but instead of bikes or the alphabet, this center uses movies.
So essentially, you watch this movie. When you're in the right standard deviation, where we want you to be, you get to see and hear your show. When you're out of the area, the show fades away and the audio fades away. Brain knows where it was when it saw this show, wants to be there again, and starts building new neural pathways to get there.
A fading you see here as Cody watches Despicable Me.
And right now we're training his temporal regions, which would be right over the ear.
But the big question, does it work?
Well, the answer is yes to that question. For many of them, it's a lot of behavioral, a lot of changes in how they react with other people. Some folks start to use their words more. We had one little girl recently that has now made the honor roll 3 times in a row, and she's never been able to do that before.
The results vary, but Slajewski says parents can expect to see better temperament, more eye contact, interaction, and better learning abilities.
And it's like muscle memory, okay? It's like playing sports, okay? You keep doing it, and it gets retrained, and you remember it. And these kids will be doing better for the rest of their lives, thanks to this partnership.
Each session is 30 minutes, and each child will complete a total of 20 sessions. But the results are already showing, especially in Trevor.
His best day of the week right now is his Brainwaves Day. When they bring him here and then he goes back to school, that is the one day of the week guaranteed that he will come home with a smiley face. He has no issues. They have no behavior problems. The whole rest of his day is just
exciting progression that gives this supermom a new hope for her kid's future, one that doesn't include a dependency on medications.
And that's the last thing we really want to see. That's the last resort for us. So when this opportunity presented itself, we grabbed it with both hands, and just what we've seen so far, we're thinking that it may keep that from happening, and medication might not be in their lives, may not have to be in their lives because of this. So, sorry.
Easter Seals is able to provide this program to the children thanks to money from the Lipitor Fund for Children. If you're interested in learning more about the Brain Center and Easter Seals, I put links with additional information on our website. Just visit mysuncoast.com.
All right, thanks a lot. In a moment, we map it out at the trapezoid.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
When money's tight and emergencies arise, CashNetUSA.com is available 24/7 to deliver quick loans for approved customers when they need it the most.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Welcome back. If you have a child with autism or a loved one, you understand the challenge. But what if there was a technique that could help focus their minds? Many of these children are highly intelligent. What if there were a way to help these kids connect and settle down the rapid-firing connections in their brains that interfere with learning, relationships, and the joys of life? It's called brain mapping, and it's now available in Sarasota. And joining us for more are Greg Slizewski, the founder of the Brainwave Center. I hope I got that right. Tom Waters of Easter Seals, and Kathy Brady, the mother of 4 autistic kids. I hope my description was accurate in terms of the effect of autism and the challenges for family and friends and for these young people. And I guess the first question is, how long has this technology been around?
Well, neurofeedback training itself has been around for over 50 years. Started after the advent of EEGs, or electroencephalograms, to look for brain functionality issues. Early on it was for epilepsy, and then went to addictions, etc. Looking for mass growths, etc. So as the technology got better, they were able to look for more functionality issues and probability of issues such as whether it's anxiety or depression, or whether there's a pattern for autism or ADHD.
Right. Now, I want to get to the implications for those other things you were talking about a little bit later, but the advent of what I saw there in our story about watching the video, and if you turn away, it kind of fades away, the audio fades away, is that fairly new?
For the past 10, 20 years, yeah, it's fairly new. The early types of neurofeedback had to do more with turning a red light green, or changing a circle to an oval to a circle. So it was more shapes or light. As the computer, technology increased, then you were able to do more things. Some do games where you try and raise a balloon into the air, or you're racing a car, or you're doing something of that nature. We chose movies because we can't compete with PS4 or Xbox.
Who can?
And everyone, exactly. And so you can come in and you can watch a movie. It's a movie you want to watch. You watch it a half an hour at a time. So it's a good experience combined with the fact you're training your brain.
Kathy, how quickly did you start seeing the effects on your kids?
Within a couple weeks.
In what way? What were the first things that you saw?
Well, I interact and get a report from the teachers on a daily basis on their behavior on a day-to-day basis. And for Trevor, most days aren't great days. So once we saw a good day, and then the next day was a good day, and then the third day was a good day, we were like, okay, what's different here? What are we doing? And so I talked to Miss Jody, and she said, that's Trevor's VPK teacher, and she said, Kathy, on his Brainwaves day, that's the best day of the week that we have. And that day is just a great smiley face day across the board. But then they started seeing days where he didn't have a great day all day long, but a better portion of his day was a better day. So here we are a few months into it, and he's doing good.
Tom, could you explain to us how families are able to afford this kind of a treatment through Easter Seals? Where does the money come from, and how is it limited in whatever way?
Well, the neat part for Easter Seals, since we've been around since 1946, we're a local nonprofit that is supported through partnership and philanthropy. So through philanthropy, we're able to provide this service. So thanks to generous donors, and in this case, the Libertor Fund for Children, we're able to provide this service for children in our area. Cutting edge programming to take them that next step to being independent, to having the focus, to being able to learn. Early intervention has been a sweet spot for Easter Seals for many years, and this just takes it to that next level.
Okay, we are just getting warmed up, and we'll have much more on brain mapping right after we check the first alert weather, so stay with us.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Set your course for a waterfront lifestyle on Florida's last private island. Discover one particular harbor by Margaritaville. Nearby sugar sand beaches are as easy to find as the warm Florida sunshine. Waterfront residences from the high 400s overlook beautiful Anna Maria Sound. And a new marina with direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, incredible savings on move-in ready homes. Come tour designer models today. Visit ophmintousa.com now.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
Do I need medical exams, things like that?
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number, or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free. You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
Our conversation on brain mapping continues right after we get a check on the First Alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Alan. Right now we're watching the KCK webcam Tuesday through the review of the afternoon. Sea state coming down a little bit, not as much surf out there. Still had some rip current advisories around. Should make for a great sunset tonight. Not a lot of clouds around. High pressure, the dominating feature now across the area. This high pressure ridge will eventually shift off to the east and give us a little bit better chance to see some it looks like basically east to southeasterly wind flow tomorrow, and that'll warm us up. We'll get back to average and slightly above average temperatures after the morning start, which will be kind of cool. Another front is forecast to head our way. This is the European forecast model suggesting a front coming down, but then falling apart before it reaches us. So that front should not do a whole lot to change our weather. But there's another system that's going to move out of the central Rockies through the southern plain states. That'll happen on Sunday. You'll start to see it over the lower Mississippi Valley. And then by Monday, showers and a few thunderstorms will be in the mix. Cool tonight, though. Low temperatures will be below seasonal averages. Not as chilly as it was this morning, but still there. Warmer Wednesday afternoon. And then we will see the storms move in late Sunday, at least some showers and increase in clouds on Sunday in advance of the storm system, which arrives, I think, mainly on Monday. Still, the timing has to be worked out with some computer forecast models, but right now it appears Monday. 74, Jacksonville 77 now. In Orlando, it's 74 in Miami. Key West looking the same. And temperatures inland a little bit warmer, 78 in Arcadia. Northport, you're at 79 degrees. Right along the coastline, still comfortable, though, into the mid-70s from Inglewood northward to Braden. And the Gulf water temperature now is 75 degrees. And we are anticipating, as I said, low temperatures to be about 5 to 7 degrees below average. No threat of any rainfall tomorrow just because of all this dry air that you see in place, showing that dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere stretching all the way over to Texas tonight. And that is going to stay with us through Wednesday, Thursday. Friday will start to moisten up at the surface. That doesn't show you the moisture at the surface anyway. We're going to see the higher humidity move in. But boy, wasn't it nice today? Humidity values 20 to 30% at times. Temperatures right now in the low to mid 70s. I mentioned that the Gulf water temperature now is 75 degrees. Currently, this is a look, by the way, at the Ringley Museum, the Rose Garden there, and Cindy Desmond getting that shot. 73 degrees the temperature currently. It's nice. Winds out of the north-northwest at 8. Pressure's still pretty high and will stay that way, too, throughout the day tomorrow. And boy, the surf was up. This is a meteorologist right there from the Tampa Bay Weather Service, Rick Davis. Mr. Nolan getting this one. Michael Nolan shooting this great shot that you see right there. Waves, at least from the ridge to the trough, appear to be about 7 feet there, or at least 6 to 7 feet. High temperature today, 79 degrees. That's a couple degrees below average, which is 81. Boy, the winter never goes away, it seems like. It's still sticking around. Here's a look at the futurecast. So this storm, which brought snow today in Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio, is now going to move off to the northeast. Here comes another one. Heavy snow expected in Iowa on Wednesday morning, and then into Chicago Wednesday evening. That quick hitter will move through, and then we'll get snow in Toledo up near Detroit, stretching all the way into Pennsylvania near Buffalo. And that snow will continue to move through on Thursday. It'll lessen somewhat as it heads toward the northeast. For boaters tomorrow, winds out of the east, turning to the southeast late in the day. Should be beautiful boating weather. Light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then checks in like this. 80, nice Wednesday. A little higher humidity Thursday and Friday. It's a slight chance for an inland shower on Saturday. Should not be a problem for the big Meadows Cup, benefiting Easter seals. And then 40% chance for showers a late Sunday evening. Better chances come Sunday night and throughout the day on Monday. Alan will be back with his guests right after this.
Did you know you could get life insurance in just a few minutes? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with just a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, TrueStage guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you. TrueStage cares for you the same way you care for your family. In fact, TrueStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now. Any amount of protection can help, and you are guaranteed to be accepted. In just a few minutes, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Getting life insurance can be fast and easy, and it could cost less than you think. Plus, your price will never increase, and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now for a free, no-obligation quote. It's fast and easy. Plus, you get TruStage's 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-809-8372 today.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC7.
Welcome back. We're talking about brain mapping and how it's being used to treat autism. And joining us for more are Greg Slejeski, founder of the Brainwave Center, Tom Waters of Easter Seals, and Kathy Brady, the mother of 4 autistic children. I printed out some of the behaviors that this type of technology and treatment can help. Initiation of touch and contact, reduced emotional outbursts, increased tolerance to change, slower, clearer speech patterns, better responses to parental and teacher instructions. Anybody who is dealing with an autistic kid, Kathy, could understand exactly what we're talking about here. It hasn't solved all the problems with your kids, but to what degree can you describe that it has helped tremendously?
Well, Isaac, for instance, had more bad days than good days, and since he's started doing the brain mapping, he has better concentration in class. He's able to listen to Mrs. Collins. He gets in much less trouble as far as behavior goes. He was bullying, and he was intimidating other kids, and he had other behaviors that weren't nice across the board, and we've seen a decrease in that. And it's a smiley face, sad face scale, and now we see more smiley faces than we say sad faces.
Okay, Greg, explain this. The treatment is how many days a week at your place?
Well, we find the most effective time is 2 to 3 times a week. You can do it every day, but you will get tired, and you'll call me and say, I don't want to come today. If you could do it 1 time a week, but it's just going to take a longer period of time. 2 to 3 times we think is the best. You can do it twice a day as long as there's at least a half an hour between the sessions. But again, if you do that often, you will get tired of doing it.
Right. Tom, do you find here, I mean, I would imagine how many people who are watching this right now are going to say, sign us up. But is there a limited, amount of either money available to fund these sessions, or just so many hours in the day?
I was just going to say both, and I think the key is, as I mentioned earlier, philanthropy, because this is all philanthropy. This is done at Easter Seals because somebody generously says, I want to make this happen, and makes a contribution. And so we're able to then do that for these children who, in most cases, when you think about some of the disabilities and the other challenges that the families face, and the economic challenges that most of them have, you've got a double disadvantage. So to enable our families means that we have to do it through philanthropy. So you've got X dollars, okay, that you have available to do it, and then you have X hours. So we look to grow this and to do it through partnership. But I think the key for most folks is going to be to take a look at all of the complementary therapies and programs, because that's what's going to help their child. We do PT, OT, speech, art, music, yoga. And when you add all those in, along with reading coaching and other things, and then you put in this focus, that's going to make the difference. So look at the whole package.
Right. So I want to...
things we normally say is that neurofeedback works well with others.
Yes.
We're a great complement. So if you're on OT, PT, behavioral therapies, or even drug therapies, adding neurofeedback can make the outcomes better.
Right. Let me ask the both of you this question. Do you find in your experiences that some families, some parents are reluctant to avail themselves of this kind of treatment because they do not want their kids labeled in some sort of way, and even though this may be hugely beneficial to them, they're still not going to go there?
I can honestly say I believe that that does happen, okay? And there are cases where you have families, for example, in the area of disabilities, 70 to 80% of families split up. In our program, because we have respite care that goes with this, and this helps the caretakers as well, it's reversed. It's only 30%. The families have to come together to do this kind of support, because it's 24/7. And so the answer to that question is they both have to be on the same page, and they have to work together. And then single moms in particular, like Supermom here, okay, have to be willing to say, let me do whatever it takes.
Kathy, let me ask you this. Has your hopes and expectations for your kids changed since starting this?
Well, my hope and expectation for them has always been, especially with Easter Seals as our partner, to become super productive members of society. And I thought there are actually a ton of obstacles preventing that from happening, but this is another tool in our toolbox, and I'm very hopeful now.
Greg, we're talking mostly about autism here, but describe to us the kind of implications brain mapping has on other things, from ADHD to depression to, I even read that even like high-flying executives might want to avail themselves to this. For what purpose?
Well, you don't have to have a precondition to come and do brain mapping and neurofeedback. If you're interested in increasing your focus, we can help. There are studies showing how well it can work with ADHD, and in our own practice we have found significant results with kids who are on, who've been told they have ADHD or attention deficits. We have worked with executives, folks who have come in that have been under a great deal of pressure for a very long period of time and are suffering from different forms of anxiety. We can help relieve that anxiety and help them perform better at their jobs. We have worked with athletes. We've had some triathletes that we've worked with. One in particular is very good at the swimming. He was very good at the biking, but no matter how long or short the race was, as soon as he got to the running portion of it, felt he couldn't do it, felt he couldn't go on. So through neurofeedback, we were able to help him overcome that fear, and he did do significantly better in his races.
Where do you think the technology is going in terms of taking it out of your location, although we want you to stay in business, but into the home where people can, use it, utilize it, every day of the week that they want to?
Well, there are some good advances in some portable units that aren't exactly the type of neurofeedback or the strength of the neurofeedback that we would do, or some practitioner in the area or other practitioners would do. But they're a good take-home unit. One part that we're working on is a unit that you come to our place 2 or 3 times a week, but then you bring this portable unit home, which is primarily entrainment. Entrainment is a way of using photic light to balance the brain. You bring that home, you use essentially the same protocol. So during the 7 days a week, you're getting training, and then you're getting specific training when you come see us.
Okay, we want to move to final thoughts, and number one, Tom, what is the single thing that you want people who are watching this right now to take away from Easter Seals' involvement and availability of this kind of technique?
I think it's to cope with hope, and that independence and opportunity are for everyone. And from little Gavin, who wouldn't sit still for 1 minute, who now, after this program, and people said, oh no, he just won't sit still, sits for the full 30 minutes, okay? And that mom doesn't have to worry about her son running away from them at the store, okay? To Chance, who had apraxia, wasn't able to speak, speaks clearly, but now has a calmness and better behavior. He's going to be one of the next rock stars. He'll probably be the next CEO of Easter Seals because of this kind of teamwork. So cope with hope, and independence and productivity is there for everyone.
Kathy, what kind of reaction have you gotten out of your children? Do they look forward to these sessions? Do they realize how it's helping them do things that they may not have been able to do before?
They love it, and they love going, which initially my concern was that they'll never sit still, not for 10 minutes for the session, let alone 20 or 30. But if you go and sit and watch them, which I don't often do because they do much better if I'm not there, but the therapists take them and they sit with them, and they put electrodes on their hair with goo, and they put photo glasses on, and they do things that I never thought were going to be possible. And they make it through the entire session, and then when next time you ask them, do they want to go to brainwaves? They're like, yeah, they jump in the car. They love it.
Greg, where is this going from here in terms of, do you find that, do you hope that a lot more families will be coming into your place and signing up for this and availing themselves of it? Where do you see the the business model going, so to speak?
Well, of course, we'd like to see more kids coming in. We'd like to see more families and adults coming in. One of the things that's interesting is we start neurofeedback by doing the brain map. And the brain map can determine brain functionality. It's a technology that, everyone should at some point have a brain map. And where I see it going is it becomes common to say a blood test, where, particularly if you're going to play sports, you get a brain map. If you should have a concussion or do have an injury, you're going to be at least able to have a baseline, or even a car accident or something else, a boating accident. You'd at least have a baseline to see where it can go.
When we're talking about football and head injuries, you can imagine that's where this can come into. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. FYI, you can watch past discussions on demand. They're available on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. We want to thank all our guests for being here tonight. Greg Sledjetsky, the founder of the Brainwave Center, Tom Waters of Easter Seals, and Kathy Brady, the mother of 4 autistic kids, better known as Supermom. When we return, we'll be joined by our business correspondent, Richard Stern, on the ups and the downs of the stock market. Stay with us.
I work hard all day, and this is why. But taking care of my money has never been easy. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, making it easy to keep track of my money and pay my bills on time.
Here's to the strong, to the dependable, to the trusted. Your family counts on you. Who can you count on? The Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. With direct deposit, you can get your paycheck or government payments up to 2 days faster.
I don't have time to wait for a paycheck, cash it, and then run around and pay bills. Brinks knows what's valuable to me. Time.
Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no cost to order and no credit check. Load money onto your card and then shop online, pay bills, buy groceries.
I get a text alert every time our card is used, so we always know our balance.
And we're protected from unauthorized transactions. Brinks gives us peace of mind.
With Brinks, you can conveniently manage your money online and with the mobile app.
I get cash back on everyday purchases. Brinks knows what's valuable to me, saving money.
Plus, you can load checks in minutes, anywhere with mobile check load. Call now or go online to get your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard. There's no credit check and no cost to order. And with a qualifying direct deposit, we'll upgrade you to Brinks Preferred with extra benefits. And in this TV-only offer, personalize your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard with your photo for added security. Manage your money on the go, anywhere, and get the peace of mind you deserve. Brinks knows what's valuable to you. Call right now to order your Brinks Prepaid MasterCard.
Call 1-800-282-9643.
There's no cost to order. Call now.
CashNet USA is trusted by over 2 million customers.
Perfect. When I lean back, I trust that you will be there to catch me.
Okay, bad idea, bad idea.
Apply now at CashNetUSA.com.
Money's on the way with CashNet USA.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Welcome back. Comparing the stock market to a roller coaster is an understatement. When the numbers are rising, President Trump loves to remind us when there is a dip in the stock market, he tends to be nowhere to be found. But what does the increase and decrease mean to the U.S.? Here to help us understand is ABC7's business insider, Richard Stern. It really is hard to figure out right now, Richard, because we were on such a long winning streak, and in the last month or so, things have become quite volatile.
You're absolutely right. Through the middle of February, the market basically was on a honeymoon and everything was terrific. Since that time, not really the case. And what we're seeing is the market is reacting to one of two things, either current news or current earnings news. And current breaking news, frankly, can make the market go somewhere, and current earnings news can make the market go somewhere, but they're two totally different areas.
Two questions. How are the earnings news going right now? And number two, you've said in the past, breaking news and what's going on in the news usually has less of an impact.
Well, let's look at an example like yesterday. Certainly over the weekend, we had the attack in Syria. We had Mr. Comey speaking, and the market was up 212 points. So apparently breaking news over the weekend had no impact yesterday. Now, in terms of earnings, Netflix yesterday announced earnings after the stock market closed. They were terrific. Number of subscribers up dramatically. Stock up 9% when it opened this morning. So good earnings. Generally, the market will respond. As far as breaking news, it really depends on what the news is, but certainly we're aware of it.
We were talking before we went on the air here about Jeremy Siegel, who's a well-known market analyst, and he says that it's going to be a tough year, that good earnings collide with what he thinks is higher interest rates by both the Fed and the Treasury markets, and that his overall prediction is that the market is going to struggle this year.
Well, I think some things don't change. You're always going to find people with different opinions. Professor Siegel is very well respected throughout the community of economics and Wall Street, and I have to respect what he's saying. On the other hand, I think it really does have a lot to do with consumer confidence and with earnings. And if you have consumer confidence and strong earnings, with all respect to Professor Siegel, the market can still move higher.
On the other hand, the market, I don't know if it's as volatile as our politics, but you've had in the last few weeks the president go after particular companies like Amazon here, and given the uncertainty in terms of where our politics is going over the next couple of months, are you concerned about that?
Well, there's always political risk, and certainly I think we can all agree that this is an unusual presidency, so maybe that even magnifies the risk. But still, over time, companies that make money will get rewarded. The shareholders will be rewarded. So I have to say that anything is possible because of the unusual political risk, but based on earnings, the market can still move higher.
All right, Richard, thank you very much. Richard Stern joins us every other Tuesday to discuss Wall Street and the stock market and more. When we return, we'll have a final look at your first alert weather, plus our primetime headlines, so stay with us.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
Your primetime headlines are coming up in a moment, but right now let's get a final check on our first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Alan. We are watching the sun get ready to go down below the horizon here, and it looks like it's going to be a real nice shot, too. So send your photos into pics, PIX at mysuncoast.com. The day planner for tomorrow looks great. We'll start off into the low to mid 50s across the entire area, upper 50s near the beaches, and then we'll warm to 80, which is fairly typical for this time of year. This is atypical. We normally get down around 64 degrees for a low. And, of course, meteorologist John Scalzi will be having more tomorrow morning. I think Wendy's in for John anyway. Wendy will be here tomorrow morning. You can see some showers down to our south along that old frontal boundary. That front is weakening now. That's the front that brought us all the rainfall on Sunday. What we're looking at is the European forecast model here, which is suggesting a weak front moving in, and that front doesn't have much of a chance of getting here. It will weaken and dissipate before it reaches us, so we won't see much to it. We'll see an increase in cloudiness over the weekend, though, especially on Sunday, I think. A mixture of sun and clouds on Sunday, better chances for rain. Move in with this storm system as it makes its way across the lower Mississippi Valley. It will gain some strength and bring us a better chance for some rain on Monday. Now, temperatures around the state into the 70s, all the way from Miami to Key West and up near Pensacola. 75 the Gulf water temperature, and 75 Sebring, Lake Placid, and that dry air continues to funnel in our direction from the west to the east, basically right across the Gulf of Mexico, with no let up in sight for tomorrow, so things are looking really quite nice. Currently it's 73, and the dew point temperature is low at 52. Humidity comfortable, 48%. North to northwest winds at 8. And the high today managed to get to 79. The low this morning was pretty cold, 52 degrees, not close to the record low, but still cold. Well, the Northeast is still looking at this upper level low. It was a raw day. You heard Alan talk about it earlier. His son playing some baseball up there in the New York area, and you can see that rain, snow, and now it's changing over to snow across much of the western and upstate portions of New York tonight. Not a lot, but it's still happening there, and again, that wraparound cold air continuing to spill southward into Ohio and into Michigan as well as into Indiana. Well, that snowstorm kind of opens up and fizzles out as it heads off to the northeast, but here comes another one. This one will bring snowfall to Chicago by later in the day on Wednesday, and even into southern Wisconsin, eastern portions of Iowa where there are watches out, and this low spins off to the east, bringing more snow to northwest Ohio. All the way into Toledo and Cleveland, getting some snowfall, stretching off into Pennsylvania. Then it kind of does the same thing, or opens up. We'll get some snow and rain mix over the northeast, and then for us, so we'll get that cold front sweep our way on Monday. Well, inches on the ground. This is still pretty impressive. Snow on the ground from Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way down into West Virginia. Then this area right here got hit hard over the weekend. Places in Wisconsin up to 16 to 18 inches of snowfall. As a result of that, there's a lot of snow on the ground in Colorado, too. Very windy weather in Colorado right now, closing some of the interstates down as a result of a storm system moving through there. For boaters, winds will be out of the east, turning to the southeast at 5 to 10 knots, a light chop out there. And as far as the 7-day forecast goes, we'll look for beautiful weather for the next several days. Maybe a little increase in clouds on Saturday with a 20% chance for shower, and then better chances for rain come late Sunday and into Monday. Al will be back with primetime headlines right after this.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years at the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
As a financial expert, I tell people if you want to be successful with your credit, Credit Sesame is the best place to start. Hi, I'm Lynette Calfani-Cox, the Money Coach. Maybe you want to buy a car, a home, or just remove some financial stress. Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score. Then they'll show you what's impacting your score and suggest a strategy to better manage it. Credit Sesame even recommends lending options that can save you money. Best part? It's 100% free. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
Once you get atrial fibrillation, you need to have a very close relationship with your primary doctor. Prevention is the whole ball game here, because once you have a stroke, you can't undo it. A year without stroke It's a year that you can enjoy doing the things that you've worked all your life to finally get to do. You took care of yourself. You did what is necessary for you to be around one more year. And then next year, we'll celebrate one more year without a stroke.
Checking primetime headlines, we have very sad news to report tonight. Former First Lady Barbara Bush has passed away at the age of 92. Barbara Bush was married for over 70 years to President George H.W. Bush. She was also the mother of George W. Bush, the president. The former First Lady died at her home today, surrounded by her family. She had suffered from congestive heart failure. It was reported earlier this week she wanted to spend her final days at home, surrounded by her family. Panic in the air, an explosion on a passenger airline thousands of feet in the air. Now comes word there was one fatality. ABC's Aaron Katersky has the latest from New York City.
Airplane engines are not supposed to blow apart like this.
The number one engine failure, and it's a Boeing 737, 149 souls on board and 21,000 pounds of fuel.
Southwest Flight 1380 from New York made an emergency landing in Philadelphia. Passengers said they heard an explosion and saw shattered glass.
The engine exploded, and a shard from the engine shattered the glass over the exit row, row 14.
The same debris that shattered the window critically injured a passenger. The NTSB said she later died.
410, there is a hole in this side of the aircraft also.
Inside the cabin, passengers described confusion, fear, and panic.
There was ash coming through the ventilation system, and we started dropping.
The plane landed safely. Its engine, fuselage, and at least one window were damaged. Usually, a mishap is contained within the engine housing. In an uncontained failure, pieces of the engine spit out at speed.
Aircraft, as you can imagine, are complex pieces of machinery. I have to say as well that the flight crew did an incredible job getting this aircraft here on the ground.
The NTSB dispatched a team to investigate.
We're giving the National Transportation Safety Board our full attention and cooperation and support. The safety of our customers and our crew is always our uncompromising priority.
Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
And that's all the time we have for this evening. I'm Alan Cohn. Thanks for joining us. Good night.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less